is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Crew, welcome to the most bipartisan committee in Congress. We may not always agree on how to get there, but we care about our national security. We care about our economy, and we sure as heck care about our children. We sure do. And that's why you're here today, because 2/3 of all the youth in our country are on your app. They spend an average of 95 minutes on your app. And you know, research has shown that TikTok is the most addictive platform out there. And the reason for that, as we've been told, is because it has the most advanced algorithm. And the Chinese Communist Party knows this, and I don't speak for everyone, but there are those on this committee, including myself, who believe that the Chinese Communist Party is engaged in psychological warfare through TikTok to deliberately influence U.S. children. You know, you see behind me, if you look behind me, Mr. Crew, you see some of the challenges that we've seen on TikTok. You know about them. You know about the milk crate. You know about the blackout challenge. You know about the NyQuil chicken challenge, the Benadryl challenge, the Dragon's Breath liquid nitrogen trend, or the challenge that promotes car theft. I want to ask you, as I understand it, there's a sister app in China, Douyin. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation. Do they have these same things over there? Do they have these kind of challenges in China?
Congressman, I'm really glad you asked this question.
Yeah. Do they, yes or no?
I'm not sure because...
Yeah, whoa, come on now. You're not sure?
I really am not sure.
Remember, you took the chair lady, she said you got to tell the truth, okay? Do you know whether they have these kind of challenges like this over in China? Because it's my understanding they don't.
I'm not sure because I spend my energies running TikTok.
And you don't look at any of your other competitors or look at anything similar to yours. So you don't know whether they don't have this over in China.
I did.
We have it here, but they don't have it here. And that's why I'm asking you this. Why is it that TikTok consistently fails to identify and moderate these kinds of harmful videos? Why is it? Why is it that you allow this to go on? We've already heard, God bless you, from parents who are here with us, who have lost children. I submit to you, everybody up here cares about the children of this country. Tell me why.
This is a real industry challenge, and we're working very hard.
No, it's not industry. This is TikTok. We're talking about TikTok. We're talking about why is it that you can't control this? And although I believe in giving credit where credit's due, I want to thank you. It's my understanding that the video that threatened life of the chairwoman has been removed. Thank you for doing that. Sorry we had to bring it to your attention here, but it's been removed. Tell me why this goes on.
This is an industry challenge for all of us here operating in this country.
Okay, so much for industry challenge. I want to shift gears real quick. I want to talk about biometric matrix, and I want to talk specifically, can you tell me right now, can you say with 100% certainty that TikTok does not use the phone's camera to determine whether the content that elicits a pupil dilation should be amplified by the algorithm? Can you tell me that?
We do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users. We do not.
You don't?
No. The only face data that you will get, that we collect, is when you use the filters to have, say, sunglasses on your face. We need to know where your eyes are.
Why do you need to know what the eyes are if you're not seeing if they're dilated?
And that data is stored on your local device and deleted after use if you use it for facial. Again, we do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users.
I find that hard to believe. It's our understanding that they're looking at the eyes. How do you determine what age they are then?
We rely on age gating as our key age assurance.
Age
gating, which is when you ask the user what age they are. We have also developed some tools where we look at their public profile to go through the videos that they post to see whether...
Well, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
It's public. So if you post a video, you choose that video to go public, that's how you get people to see your video. We look at those to see if it matches up the age that you talked about. Now, this is a real challenge for our industry because privacy versus age assurance is a really big problem.
Look, you keep talking about the industry. We're talking about TikTok here. We're talking about children dying. Do you know how many children have died because of this? Do you have any idea? Can you tell me?
Congressman, again, it's heartbreaking.
Can you tell me how many children in America have died because of challenges like this?
The majority of people who use our platform use it for positive experiences.
That's not what I ask you. I ask you, tell me the number of children, of U.S. children who have died because of these challenges.
Congressman, again, the majority of people who come on our platform get a good experience.
I'm not talking about the majority of children. I want to know a number.
Dangerous challenges are not allowed on our platform. If we find them, we will remove them. We take this very seriously.
Obviously, you found one today and you removed it. We had to bring it to your attention, and I know I'm out of time. Thank you for being here. Welcome again to the most bipartisan committee in Congress.
Gentleman yields back. We will now take a brief recess and resume in 10 minutes. The committee stands in recess. Chair recognizes gentleman from California, Mr. Cardenas, for 5 minutes. Cardenas, sorry.
That's good.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I appreciate this opportunity for this committee to have this important hearing regarding TikTok and its effect on the American people, especially the American children, and the potential effect, not potential, but the effects that it has had and may have in the future when it comes to our democracy and misinformation and disinformation that permeates on TikTok. It's unfortunate that I think most Americans or most parents think that TikTok is this innocent little thing where kids get on there and they do a little dance or something like that. But TikTok is much, much more, as some of my colleagues, and I thank them for bringing up some of these serious issues, literally life and death issues that TikTok is right in the middle of. And also, what I'd like the witness to acknowledge is that it appears that Ms. Kamek, my colleague, brought up those two posters, and since then, TikTok has taken them down since then, not before then. Are you aware of that, Mr. Chu?
I was briefed during the break that they are taken down.
Okay. How do you feel about the fact that it was up for apparently 41 days, and yet in the middle of this hearing, it was brought directly to your attention, and as a result, it has been taken down so quickly?
It goes to show the enormous challenge that we have to make sure that although the vast majority of our users come for a good experience, we need to make sure that bad actors don't post violative
Yes,
content.
and the way, Mr. Chu, that you can make sure is that you can make sure that you choose to invest more resources, more money into more ability to pull down damaging and deadly information from your platform. Are you investing more and more and more every day into bringing down that kind of content? That's my question. Are you?
Yes, and I'm committed to investing more in this regard to stay on top of the growth.
Right here in the United States, many, many languages are used and spoken. For example, TikTok in the United States is being used in many languages. Specifically, when it comes to Spanish language, are you dedicating more resources today than you did months ago, years ago, on making sure that you are combing through that content to make sure that if content is dangerous or damaging or deadly, that you are bringing it down as quickly as possible?
Yes, we are investing in more Spanish language content moderation, and yes, we will, once we identify violative content, we'll take it down as soon as possible.
Thank you. And your testimony today isn't the only opportunity for you to commit to answering questions to this committee. So I'd like you to forward to this committee. Again, I'm not asking for trade secrets, but I would like to get some semblance of understanding as to how much you are investing with the number of bodies, the number of people, the number of resources in making sure that you are investing more in pulling down content that is either deadly or dangerous on your platform. Can you forward that to the committee?
I will check with my team and get back to you on this, Congressman.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that opportunity. As was mentioned earlier, it might sound a little funny, but you have, in fact, been one of the few people to unite this committee, members, Republicans and Democrats, to be in agreement that we are frustrated with TikTok. We're upset with TikTok. And yes, you keep mentioning that there are industry issues that not only TikTok faces, but others. You remind me a lot of Mike Zuckerberg. When he came here, I said to my staff, he reminds me of Fred Astaire. Good dancer with words. And you are doing the same today. A lot of your answers are a bit nebulous. They're not yes or no. So I'd like to ask you a question. Yes or no? Is your revenue going up at TikTok month over month or year over year?
Yes, our revenue is going up year over year.
And with that, some of the answers I'd like you to forward this committee is, are you investing more and more money into making sure that content that is dangerous and or deadly, you're investing more and more resources in that aspect of your expenditures and your commitment to your users and to your organization?
Yes, I commit to that. And we are investing more, and we will continue to do that.
Okay. My last question is this. Are you a Chinese company?
TikTok is a company that's now headquartered in Singapore and Los Angeles.
Okay.
We are not available in mainland China. Our users are in other countries around the world.
Okay. Is there a corporation that has any authority above TikTok?
TikTok is a subsidiary of ByteDance, which is founded by a Chinese founder. Yes.
And ByteDance is a Chinese company?
Well, ByteDance owns many businesses that operate in China.
Is it or is it not a Chinese company?
Congressman, the way we look at it, it was founded by Chinese
No. I'm not asking you how you look at it. Fact, is it a Chinese company or not? For example, Dell is a company, it's an American company. They have activities all over the world. Is it a Chinese company?
I frequently have these discussions with others on what is a company that is now global.
That's okay. I prefer you answer the question and stop dancing verbally on it. Madam Chair, my time has expired. Thank you very much.
Gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. Obernolte.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chu. It's nice to see you again. If I could just bring us back up to 30,000 feet for a second, I just want to talk about what we're afraid of here, what we fear might happen. Social media companies, and TikTok is not unique in this, gather a tremendous amount of user data and then use powerful AI tools to use that data to make eerily accurate predictions of human behavior and then seek to manipulate that behavior. And that's something that it's not just TikTok, it's all our social media companies that are doing this. Ultimately, the solution is to enact comprehensive federal data privacy legislation that will prevent that kind of behavior. or at least allow users to consent to it. And that's, I know, something that the chair is working on, the ranking member. I hope that this committee will act on that this year. The specific concern here, though, as regards TikTok, is that this type of capability falling into the hands of foreign countries is something that has national security implications, and that's why Congress is getting involved on this issue. So I know that you have proposed Project Texas in an effort to alleviate these fears. So I wanted to ask some specific technical questions about Project Texas and the way that you believe that it will solve this problem. So one of the things that you've said in your testimony is that part of Project Texas will have engineers at Oracle going through the source code for TikTok. How large is that code base?
Well, it's not small, but it's not just Oracle, Congressman. We are also inviting other third-party monitors. We're in the process of figuring out who the best
Sure. So we're talking millions, tens of millions of lines of code? How big is the base?
It is significant, but it's something that we believe can be done. And again, I want to say that I have not heard of another company, American or not, has allowed for this to happen.
But I mean, you're kind of in a unique position having to answer these concerns of Congress. So are they going through the code for just the app or the app and the server code?
I can get back to you on the technical details, but it's comprehensive, including the software that powers a lot of the software that powers the experience.
And how long will that review take?
I need to get back to you on the timeline, but we are progressing quite well on Project Texas, and whenever we hit a milestone, I commit to be very transparent about it.
Okay. So I'm wondering, because I'm also concerned as a software engineer about the process in which new code is introduced into the code base. Do you use a software configuration management system at TikTok?
The way we plan for new code to be done is that even before the code becomes live, it has to be reviewed. The changes have to be reviewed by
so
the
you're
third-party
talking
monitors.
about a code review. That was good. That was another question I had for you. So the code review, is it done with a team of engineers or just with a single engineer?
Oh, it's going to be a team effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to be done at Oracle or elsewhere?
It's going to be done in one of our transparency centers so that we still need to make sure that the code itself is secure. And,
Okay.
yeah.
What I'm hearing you say is that even though the code might be written by someone not in the United States, before the code is integrated, it'll be reviewed in a code review by a team of engineers within the United States?
That's the plan.
Okay. And back to the question about the software configuration management system, how do you manage the integration of that code change into the rest of the TikTok code base?
The long and short of it is we have built a team of American personnel with security credentials. The person who leads the team used to work for the Secret Service,
I
for
understand,
example.
but I mean, there's a software solution for integrating those code changes into the code base. What solution is that?
I will
use
need
a
to check
commercial
and
one?
get back to you on the
Okay.
details.
Well,
Yeah.
specifically, what I'd like to know is to make sure that this isn't something that TikTok has created custom, which many companies do, because that would mean that you'd have to review the source code for that as well for security. How do you protect against threats like a malicious actor being hired not by TikTok but by Oracle, for example, or by USDS?
The approach that most companies take for these things is to have several layers of monitoring to make sure that everything that somebody has reviewed, there's a secondary review so that one malicious actor is not able to create the damage that the malicious actor can do. But you rightly pointed out, these kind of problems are industry-wide problems. Right. Every company has to deal with them.
Okay, well, let me ask a specific question about that. I mean, in thinking about if I were a malicious actor, a software engineer on one of your projects, how I would go about writing a malicious code. I wouldn't put it right there and say, hey, I'm malicious. I would put unrelated lines of code in different sections of the code that work together to do something malicious. How do you think that could get caught?
Again, we have to rely on third-party experts to help us with that. I think there are enough experts who can catch a lot of these things. The work on security globally, on all data security, is never perfect.
Yeah, I understand.
But we can have a lot of oversight to keep it safer than any other experience.
I appreciate the effort. My concern, Mr. Chu, is I don't believe it is technically possible to accomplish what TikTok says it will accomplish through Project Texas. I just think that there are too many back doors through that process to allow that to be possible, and I think a malicious actor would succeed in inserting malicious code in there if they wanted to. But I see we're out of time. I hope we get an opportunity to talk some more about this. I yield back, Madam Chair.